Welcome back. It's pretty, it smells amazing, and it's supposed to do wonders for your health. No, we're not talking about Diane Phillips, but the beautiful flowers that surround her. Diane, where are you?
Amanda, I am on the Lucky Road Lavender farm here, and I'm actually joined with the owner, Kylie. So Kylie, I was driving here and I noticed that there was, soybean fields, wheat fields, corn, but we have a lavender farm. So tell us your journey. How did you get to Northwest Ohio with lavender?
So my husband grew up on this farm, and it was a little different when he grew up here. It was actually a hog farm. Yes, we bought it about 8 years ago, and I really wanted a piece of this that was mine. And I grew up in town, so I wasn't exposed to it. We were actually watching some television show that had nothing to do with lavender or farming or anything, and these people said, we have this patch of rocky, sandy soil, and we started a lavender farm. And my husband and I looked at each other and we were like, oh, we have one of those, let's try it. It took us a few years because, lavender doesn't exactly grow that well in Northwest Ohio, but it took us a few years to get it established. But now we've been selling lavender about 5 years, and you pick for about 3.
Great. And of course, the snow and lavender maybe don't go hand in hand because they're a warmer kind of climate plant, right?
Right. So it's a Mediterranean herb, typically. So we've picked varieties that have grown well in our area. So, and a lot of different arrangements that you'll see with the mounding of the soil and things like that kind of help us keep that plant from getting too wet. So a wet winter that kind of cycles from freezing to, warming back up, freezing, warming back up is very hard for them. If we just had a snowfall that stayed, we'd be okay. But it takes a little bit. So once they're established, they can kind of weather that a little bit easier. But yes, so the Ohio winters are a little challenging for it.
Right. And now what varieties do you have growing here?
So we have 4 different varieties. We have one called Phenomenal. That's like the longer stem variety that you see there.
Okay, so is that those first 2 rows?
The first 3, actually.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's Phenomenal. Those are huge plants that get to be like 3 to 4 feet around. They're one of my favorites.
Wow.
This is Munstead. This is one that you'd find a lot of places. It's a kind of a traditional English lavender.
Okay.
This is Hidcoat. This one's new to us this year. I just love the deep purple color.
Yes, that's beautiful.
The next 2 are Sweet Romance. They're my personal favorite. They have really big purple buds on them. And then another row of Munstead, and then another row of Phenomenal.
Now the different varieties, what all can you do with lavender?
Yeah, so I have 2 different types really. One I would consider to be like culinary, and one that I would call like a craft lavender. So if you wanted to make lotions or even wreaths or things like that, I'd choose the longer stem varieties, the ones that like craft. So Phenomenal, I would pick for that. Okay. If you had like culinary that you wanted to do, a recipe that you like, cookies, something like that, I would pick one of these middle rows here, the Munstead. The Sweet Romance is my personal favorite for that kind of thing.
Okay, and now we are in bloom now, but how long does the season last?
4 to 6 weeks, depending on the weather. So you were talking about how it's going to be nice and warm. That really opens up the buds of the flower, so that kind of speeds up our season, but we typically like to shoot for 4 to 6 weeks that we can count on.
Okay, well, of course, you have the hand-pick season that's now going, so we are going to do a little bit of that, so make sure you stay with us. We're going to be coming right back to WCOL 11 Your Day.